It's the Bruins Benders Podcast, Season 5, Episode 40, with Maddie and Smitty. Draft and developed. Brought to you on the Inside the Ring Podcast Network and InsideTheRink.com. Get your Bruins info and news there. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe on YouTube. And get your comments in tonight. Should be a good one. We'll talk about the draft. We'll talk about the need for more goaltenders. And we'll also talk about the newest acquisition, J.J. Peterka. All that and more right here on the Bruins Benders special Sunday night edition of the Bruins Benders Podcast. And Smitty has returned. He has fully scouted Alaska and evidently will get to make the pick next year because Don Sweeney doesn't do that. So
no, that's not his job. That is the scouting director. Ryan Nadeau makes all the picks.
Yeah.
So you're going to blame somebody, blame Ryan Nadeau from now on.
Because that's, we should know that.
You should know that. It's just common knowledge throughout all of hockey that the scouting department, scouting directors make those picks. It is not the general managers. They've never done it, never will do it. So it is not Don Sweeney's fault at all. And if you believe that, I have some land in Alaska to sell you that is very close to a beach.
Those Alaska beaches.
Doesn't rain at all.
No
wild bears or anything to eat
not
you.
Dark for 6 months.
No, not dark or light for 6 months. Yeah. So, Ryan Nadeau making all the picks. Good for him.
Tell you, here's the thing. If let's say that's true. Okay. Let's say it's true. All right. Why haven't the Bruins put in more resources, spent more money on the scouting? If the scouting is actually making those picks and doing that thing, then why aren't they putting more resources into that? If Donnie is basically going to the microphone and announcing the player is what I heard. Yeah. So if that's the case, then why aren't they putting more resources into that?
It's interesting because the Vegas Golden Knights have 23 scouts to the Bruins 19 scouts, and they hardly ever keep their first round picks. Hardly ever. So I don't. What is that scouting staff? Why do they have so many guys? If you're not going to pick anyone, what's the point? Yeah, what's the point? What's the point of doing that? What's the point? What's the point of having? What's the point of any of it? Really?
23 guys.
Yeah.
Who don't end up there. The people they've scouted aren't getting picked.
Not getting picked at all.
So, I found that interesting today. And whoever, the person who tweeted it out was like dumbfounded that people didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like
here's something else that I have a problem with that. If the scouting people are making all these picks and the Bruins front office has been taking heat for these picks for the entirety of Don Sweeney's tenure,
yes,
why is there not somebody new in charge of making the picks?
Yeah.
Why are there not new people there? If it's not working and Sweeney can just fire these guys because he is the manager of them, why is there not somebody new in charge of that?
Well, we go back to our friend Sved, who's been around 35 years in Sweden. Don Sweeney has picked 10 Swedish players. This new guy they picked in the third round is the 10th or 11th, whatever it is.
Sure.
The best player is Oscar Steen. That's it. Jacob Forsberg or Carlson, you name it. The gamut of Swedish busts or guys who never made it, whatever. Liam Pettersson is one. He was drafted last year. He's a defenseman. Other than that, it's just a who's who of nobody. So
or they don't get a chance like Fabian and Lysell.
35 years.
Yeah.
That PJ Axelson and Sved covering an entire fucking continent. Again. Okay, if that's the case, and we should get off Sweeney's ass about it.
Yeah.
Fine. But, okay, get some scouts in there who can actually, find some talent. We'll talk about the draft in a second. But they drafted Kirill Yermelnikov's fucking teammate.
Yeah.
They drafted the goalie in that league.
Right.
Like,
They basically
watching those games and picking a guy out of the game.
They were watching the finals.
Yes.
That guy was the MVP, the guy they drafted,
yes.
the MVP of the finals, a teammate of Yamelnikov, and the goalie on the other team is the goalie they fucking drafted in the second round.
Yes.
So they watched a game or a handful of games in Russia, and here's who's in charge? Is it Dmitry Kovatonov? Millen, you see who's in charge of Russian scouting?
I have no idea. I don't think they have a Russian scout. I thought they didn't have a Russian scout.
It's Fed. He's got
John Sweeney bought MHL.TV for like a week.
Right.
And then saw the guy and then canceled it after. You don't want to pay.
No.
But I don't think they have a Russian scout. That's what I heard. I don't know.
It's Evgeny Ryabchikov. Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Evgeny Ryabchikov, the last Russian goaltender they drafted.
They do really well when they take goalies high in the draft, like they did with Malcolm Subban. That worked out well.
That was a snipe.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose my shit when we talk about the draft and taking goalie in the second round. I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind.
Okay, let's do it. First round, okay. They traded the 23rd pick for JJ Peterka. We'll talk about later. Okay, fine. So they get to pick 56 in the second round. So you're thinking they have like 2 right shot defensemen in the entire organization. They need defensive help. They need wing help. They need center help. Whatever. Just load up the forwards.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, they take Yuri Ivanov, who actually has a similar name to a serial killer in Russia.
Yes, the same name.
The same name. 56th overall, a guy who is the 10th rated European goaltender.
Mm-hmm.
They take him in the second round of the draft. I have look. People are trying to argue me on X about you can't have enough goalies, blah 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 blah. They've got like 6 goalies in the organization, like locked up, ready to go. Like 4 of them were undrafted guys they picked, like Lundgren.
Mm-hmm.
Like they picked DiPietro, they got in a trade. None of those guys are really drafted. Zacha was signed.
Sure.
Like none of those guys are drafted. All of a sudden, they need to draft not 1, but 2 goalies in the draft.
You know what they did? They attacked it.
They attacked it. They attacked that position.
They had a need and they attacked it. How about attacking right shot D? You know what? Before this draft, so in this draft, in the 7th round, they took Colin McBride or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
A country music singer that's going to Michigan State in the fall.
Pat McCracken or
honestly,
McCray.
I think I like the pick. I do. I like the pick in the 7th round of that kid.
Sure.
But before him, can you tell me the last year they took a right shot defenseman in the draft?
Was it 16? Was it McAvoy?
No, 2021, but still
2021.
So they have a couple of right shot defensemen, and that's it in the entire system. But we're going to take a goalie that you could have had in the 4th round, probably in the 2nd round of the draft.
Right.
And in a position where you already have depth, you already have it. And all the people that say it's for 6 years when Swayman's done. Who's to say Swayman's done in 6 years?
Who's to say that?
Goalies play into their late 30s. He could be here for 12 more years. He could sign. He could get to the end of the 6-year deal and then sign an 8-year deal and still fucking be here.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, this kid's, it's a long road. So we're taking a goalie that's going to be a long road in the 2nd round. He's going to be in Russia for at least 2 more years, probably more. It's a fucking joke.
It's unbelievable.
And then they took another goalie in the 6th round. They could have just had him. He fights. He had a Gordie Howe hat trick. Another. Here's a story. Here's a story because the roster sucks dick.
Yeah. Connor, go ahead.
A quick tidbit on Ryan Nadeau. He's been in the Bruins front office since 06-07 and has been the director of amateur scouting since 2016-2017.
There you go.
And
He's making all the picks.
A quick note for me on this goaltending pick here at the beginning of the draft. It's the strongest position that you have in your organization.
Yes.
And traditionally you hear the clause, you should trade from a position of strength. Amazing. I'm with that. I would love to see them take these 2 picks and now turn 2 or 3 of the goaltenders they have into trade fodder over the next season. Wonderful. Second thought on that. Does this mean that they might think there's a Swayman problem in the future? They already had one once with getting him to sign his contract. If Pastrnak and McAvoy start hemming and hawing, maybe he's turning into a huge problem and they're turning some insurance with this draft. I don't know. But when you have 3 people coming to development camp in your right shot D and one of them's an invitee, that's a massive problem. And the same thing at right wing. They have 3 or 4 players and one of them's an invitee. Like, how can you let that happen? You pick somebody laughably out of position. And some people say, okay, well, he might not have been there at their next pick. And that was a guy they really wanted. Fantastic. There was probably 50 other skaters instantly better than him at any other position available. And you should be drafting the best player available. Point blank, period.
So that's what I'm saying is you want to get best available. That guy's not even the best goalie available.
Not according to Central Scouting. But, look, fine. If you want to have conviction on the goalie, fine. But because of where the ratings go, where the ratings are, you could have gotten them later in the draft. You could have.
If you could have,
and look,
moved up
even if
later.
you didn't get them, even if you didn't, you still took another goalie in the 6th round.
Right.
Okay? So you took
have to have that guy.
Not just one. You took 2. So, did you draft the next Ken Dryden in the 2nd round? Well, if you did, why'd you take another one in the 6th round when you already had 6 goalies? It doesn't make any fucking sense at all.
It didn't make any sense
None.
to me at all. It didn't. Now, if the guy was projected 2nd round and was like a stud, then and you really felt like, we can get this guy and he can play in 2 or 3 years and he's going to be a stud, then you might be able to sell that thing to me. But this guy's another fucking off the board. We're smarter than everybody else. Fucking thing. And that's, again, this is a Don Sweeney arrogant. And after the Peterka thing, and I actually thought and tweeted out that I thought they weren't going to make that pick. And then they trade the pick for Peterka. And I said, you know what? I can get behind that. 25 plus goals, whatever, 3 years in a row. Sure, they need a winger that can score. I need speed.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Then they turn around and do this fucking thing. And I'm like, what? I mean, you can't have nice things. You can't just fucking get on a roll. You got to do this thing.
So that's the piece of it that pisses me off the most, is because the Peterka thing, I said, okay, like I still feel like 2 firsts, probably a little more than you had to give up. But if you had to give it up to get the player and you're trying to go young and you're trying to get more skill and speed, fine. I can get it. They top 10 protected the Florida pick. So look, I'm good with the Peterka thing. But then, like you said, they turn around. Like just when you say, okay, like that was a pretty good move. Got a plan. Getting younger. And then now maybe they're going to turn some other guys around. Maybe they're going to trade Korpisalo, make some other moves. And then they draft a goalie in the 2nd round at 56. And you say, what? They don't know what they're doing. They don't have a goddamn clue what they're doing.
They don't.
None.
They don't. And again, Sweeney goes back to what he's comfortable with. So he wanted to, sign Elias Lindholm and Zadorov, wanted to try to clone Bergeron and Chara. He does what he's comfortable with. He doesn't go outside the box. He's comfortable with their goalie development. And I am too. I think it's really good. Obviously, proof is in the pudding. Vladar's going to sign a 5-year deal. Mm-hmm. Bussy won the Stanley Cup. They are pretty good at it. But Jesus, you need other pieces. And like Connor said, goalie is the one thing you have and you're good at. You hosed your goaltending all year long last year.
You did.
Like, you're going to get another guy? Why? Like, I don't understand why. What about next year? What if next year there's a pretty good goaltender and you draft that guy? What about 2 years from now? Because you got 6 more years before Swayman's even considered off the team. Maybe in 2 years, in 3 years, you get a guy. You need this guy right now? Like, it's just unbelievable to me.
I can't explain it. I'm dumbfounded. I'm pissed off about it. I'm beside myself. And I was on vacation and I saw it come up and I sent these guys a message and I said, a fucking goaltender?
Yeah.
Seriously?
The one thing you're good at.
What we're fucking doing right now?
Yeah.
Like, that's the one spot where you're like, yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
That's the one spot where everybody else in the league is like trying to trade for Hellebuck, or, you know, we're picking guys up on waivers and we're signing this guy, and Edmonton's looking for that guy, and Pittsburgh swapping goalies, and Florida's, you know, brings Bussy in halfway through. Like, everybody else is scrambling around like assholes. Here you are with fucking Jeremy Swayman, who has a great bounce back year, and then you draft a goddamn goalie in the second round. Like, what the fuck?
I think, I mean, if you're Swayman, like, you look at that draft, you need help, and they draft 2 goalies. You know, you look at, you know, Pastrnak and Matt, how do you sell that to those guys? Oh, we drafted 2 goalies. Well, don't we have one for the next fucking 6 years?
Yeah.
Like, Connor, do you have something?
Yeah, you mentioned like having faith in the Bruins for developing goaltenders, and I wholeheartedly agree. But the problem is they're not utilizing that. They're not trading these players away. Like, Dan Vladar is the only goaltender they traded away,
right? Bussy
and they got a 3rd round pick.
Right.
All of the other goaltenders that they've had, they walk right to free agency. Yeah. And the only one of goaltending that they actually traded for something decent is one that never played for their fucking franchise and was there for less than 2 days. And that was Martin Jones in 2015. So, like, if you're going to keep drafting these players, keep developing them, trading for players, or, you know, signing ECHL all-star goaltenders, inviting NCAA goaltenders to your camp, and then drafting 2 more, you should start utilizing those assets. It is asinine to have more goaltenders than you could possibly put in your organization. There can only be 6 that play at a time.
Yeah. So then next round, 3rd round, 88th overall, they take Niels Barthalsson. Sped coming in hot with a Swede in the 3rd round.
On Toastin.
No, but
Scott's Romanian.
So Balky Balthakamis, fucking 3rd round. So there's some people who are intrigued by it.
I like the pick. I do. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't look at. I can't claim to know anything about this fucking thing. But what I will say is this, and I think I don't know if it was Severed Soul in the comments said, as the first round's going on,
yeah,
I'm thinking after the first 10 or 12 guys, doesn't seem as strong a draft as people said. 9 trades in the first round. 9.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells me not super, like, top 12 and then not super strong. So there's that thing. Okay. So that, again, that's a good on the Bruins to get out of 23 and just go get a proven NHL player. Great. So this guy here, Barthelson, has some tools, you know, seems to be a decent prospect in the 3rd round. We'll see.
He scored, again, I think he scored the most goals in the U20 Swedish League, other than the guy that Nashville took at 12, I think.
Right.
I think it was his name. Yeah. So other than him, like, this guy was one of the most productive players as a young guy in that league, and a lot of people are comparing him to Viggo Bjork, who was taken last year, right?
Like a poor man's Bjork type player. Yeah.
Similar to him, maybe not a poor man's, maybe just similar. So, like, I don't hate it. I actually like the pick.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's the draft to me is still ruined because you took the goalie in the 2nd round. Like, if you package 2 and maybe a 4 and something else, you could have maybe moved up into the end of the 1st round and taken one of those right shot Ds, whether it's, you know, Ryan Lynn or Lysell or somebody like that, and got maybe a little offensive defenseman with a little flair. But instead, you have a goaltender. And so I really think they could have handled it better. But I do like the potential of this pick in round 3.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to have some, dirty areas guy. He seems to have some skating ability and so forth. So we'll see. I mean, these types of guys in the 3rd and 4th round.
Who knows?
Next one was Oscar Olsen. I'm sorry, 4th round was. Here's the guy I'm actually intrigued by. The forward in the 4th round, 104th overall, Matvei Kotkov. He's Yemelnikov's teammate. Those two are the two best players in the MHL or whatever the hell, and in the playoffs.
Yeah.
This guy in the video I saw and some of the things I saw, I think is actually an intriguing pick here. And evidently, all of these guys has been told by, I think it was Ty Anderson today. All these guys are expected tomorrow at camp. So everybody they picked. But Kotkov, I like. See, there's always some intrigue by Russian guys. There's always that, you're not quite sure if they're going to come. And that's sometimes why they're drafted a little later, that type of thing. And they always have this, they obviously have this style of play that's intriguing. The Bruins have not, they went on a run of just not drafting Russians. They've drafted 3 in the last 2 years now. And this is a type of guy I can get behind and kind of look at as maybe something in the 4th round.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by it too. But then, so we've done good, then bad in the 2nd round. I thought it was good in the 3rd round. And now to the 4th round, yes, I'm intrigued by the pick. I'm intrigued by the fact that he had a good playoff. He plays with Yemelnikov. I'm intrigued by all of that. But then it comes back to he's teammates of Yemelnikov.
Yes.
And the goalie they took in the 2nd round played against both of these guys in the final. So are they how vast are they actually scouting Russia? Or are they watching this game and other than the guy that we already have, these are the 2 best players in the game. So let's take them. That's what it seems like to me, which again sends me on the downside of things. I'm intrigued by it, but at the same time, I'm can we watch more than one fucking game?
Yeah.
Can we watch more than one fucking game, one fucking team? Can we do that thing? Can we scout, maybe 2 other teams in that league? And maybe you find a couple other guys that you really like. I don't know.
Right.
So that soured me on the whole thing again. So we went good, bad, good, back to bad for me again.
Yeah. And then Oscar Olsen from the Swedish League, National League, with 122nd overall. Then defenseman Jacob Vandeven in the 5th round at 157th overall. Then another goaltender, Roberto Henriquez, in the 6th round, 170th overall. And then defenseman Cullen McCrate, who you said in the 7th round, 216th overall. The team actually acquired that pick, the Roberto Henriquez. They actually moved up to get another goalie.
To draft the 8th goalie of their organization.
Yeah. I mean, look, I know we're probably nitpicking because not one of these fucking guys is probably ever going to play for the Boston Bruins. But it just shows this small-minded, and Sweeney will tell you, our development has to be better and all this other stuff. And we'll talk about Lysell and the comments that Sweeney made there. But all of this stuff about developing and the spotlight is on. And then they do this. You draft the the goalie that they drafted in some of these picks. If you just won the Stanley Cup, you have this loaded roster. If it was 2023 or 2022 or whatever it is for the Bruins, then I would probably see why this is happening. You don't have a lot of spots. You need guys that are 2 or 3 years out. Okay, fine. And we wouldn't really probably nitpick this thing. But right now, you need some talent. You need it pretty quickly.
This is the thing that chaps my ass about the whole goaltending thing. So now you have 8 goalies, right? 2 can play for the Boston Bruins. 2.
Yeah, just 2. Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
So we'll do a little math here. They have drafted 2 right shot defensemen now since 2021. 2. How many right shot defensemen play for the Boston Bruins? 3. In each game. So One goalie only plays. You can put 2 on the roster, but only one plays. So you're a little short there, maybe in the right shot defenseman area, and you're still drafting extra goalies. So
yeah, you
only have 2 right shot defensemen drafted in the last fucking 6 years.
And you've got 8 goalies.
And you've got 8 goalies now.
It just doesn't seem to make much sense.
It doesn't really add up, does it? You can math that all you want, Mr. Harvard man. Yeah. You can square root it and divide it and multiply everything. You're still going to come out with Jeremy Swayman's the starter for the Boston Bruins for the next 6 years, and you still only have 2 fucking right shot defensemen drafted in the last 6 years. So I don't know. That math to me doesn't add up.
I think that we're starting to get to the crux of what the issue is that the organization is not putting the resources into scouting. They think they can do it from their couch or their desk or whatever conference room, and they're not putting in those resources. And they've been fat and happy for a good chunk of time, 15 years up until where they didn't really have to put a ton of effort into it because they had this wagon and had longtime Bruins playing here, playing well. But now, again, I want to go back to it and we'll scream it from the fucking hills. This is another example as to why Don Sweeney is not the guy for this particular job. The old job, sure, did okay, did fine. And he's still probably mid-pack GM. Whatever. You want to play that, what is he rated, 13, 14, 18? I don't give a shit. They're somewhere around there. He's not the worst. But this particular thing, he can't do well. And that's what I've been saying from day one. And there's been no examples to me that it's changing or improving or that he's finally figuring it out. None. And this is another example. So I don't know what to tell you.
And we're going to talk about another example in the chirps when we talk about Fabian Lysell.
We definitely are. We definitely are. And those chirps are brought to you by Lobster. I'm sorry, Connor. Go ahead.
What I was going to mention is we also in the chirps are going to talk about maybe some light down the tunnel of Bruins drafting and developing. We'll see.
Okay.
The hell with you and the hell with that.
Seven Chirps is brought to you by Lops Brewing. It's a brewing and tasting room in downtown Woonsocket, Rhode Island, specializing in small batch ales and lagers. Open 7 days a week. Use the coupon code SPORTS for 10% off your order at lopsbrewing.com. Follow them at Lops Brewing for new beers and events. Chirp 1, JJ Peterka. He was acquired for the 23rd overall, and he's a guy who scores goals, speed, not necessarily a defensive stalwart. But your thoughts on the acquisition of John Jason
Peterka. I like it. Like I said initially, I thought it was a little much to give up, maybe the 2 first rounders, but I was happy that they protected the 2028 Florida pick as top 10 protected. So, I can live with it. He's still only 24. I think he's 4 more years at 7.7. So
7.7. Yeah.
The cap's going up. He had a 68 point season, his last season in Buffalo. He's had 20 goals 3 straight seasons. So he's fast. He can score off the rush. He can pass the puck. He's a left shot power play guy. I think he's going to get some more power play chances here. So I feel like all those things are good. And that's all things you needed. And I think he was a good addition to the top. So he's going to play in the top 6, hopefully with Pastrnak.
I mean, to me, he could play both wings. To me, he's got to be on Pasternak's wing. I mean, to me, those are the 2 wingers on a really good top line, potentially. And here's the thing. Whether you like Peterka, you see his faults, you don't like him, whatever. Beggars can't be choosers.
Right.
Like, this team cannot get high-end talent. There's no movement clauses. They're not on anybody's list other than Darnell Nurse. But the high-end forwards aren't on the list. Like, it's really hard for them to try. So this is the type of deal. Like, to me, in a perfect world, Peterka is your second-line right wing when you're really, really good. Like, if you're approaching really, really good. And Pasternak's your top wing. He's your second wing. But for right now, going into the season, got to be on the top line. Got to maximize the guy. the things that I'm worried about defensively, I'm hearing that he's just a wet fart defensively. Doesn't put a lot of effort into it, whatever. I don't know if Sturm can get that out of him. I don't know if he can play these hybrid type of things. No idea. You also have Peterka and Geekie now. Geekie doesn't play great defense. So those are two wings. And Pastrnak plays adequately enough. So there's some wingers right now who just don't play great defensively. And you're trying to get back to your defensive structure and everything. It's not just the defenseman to bang on. It's the forwards too. And
Absolutely.
now you have some forwards with some defensive liability. That's a little bit of a problem for me. But again, I just have to keep going back to you can't be choosy. You go get a guy who's capable of scoring 30 goals probably at 24 years old. You get him locked up for a while at 7.7, which is a really good number as the cap keeps going up. So, okay, like if he turns into a 75-point guy at 7.7, then that's a good move. That's a good move. But it's the type of move you have to make. And as we saw later on in the draft this year wasn't as great as we thought. And now next year, that pick, or 2028, whatever, that pick could be 30th. So you take Peterka.
Yeah, I think you do. And I don't hate it. And the other thing is he has history with Sturm and with I'm drawing a blank on the
McAvoy.
So he has history with both of those guys. Mm-hmm. So I mean that's another thing that I think the Bruins were excited about, or at least gave them the green light to go ahead and make this kind of move, is because those guys have history with him and know the kind of player and person he is, and think he'll fit here. And I think it seems like he's excited for a fresh start in Boston, and obviously we'll see how it goes. I think he hopes he can stick to Buffalo, a few times a year too. So all those are good things, I think, in the long run.
Connor, go ahead.
So last year in Utah, Peterka was basically playing third line minutes, no power play time whatsoever.
Yeah.
You can look up the stats out there. I know we shared it in our text chat. He was probably one of the most productive 5-on-5 players out there, right in the terms of Geekie there. So I have him kind of pinned as like a 55 to 60 point player if he plays, second to third line minutes. If he can play with David Pastrnak, you're probably looking more to a 70 point player, but I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch.
Right.
Both the draft picks they gave up are probably going to not be worthwhile players in the NHL. And even if they were, they wouldn't be here for multiple years. You do have him locked up long term. But one of the big things that I saw out of this is we came into this offseason thinking that Victor Arvidsson and his fit here, he's probably going to get re-signed. And for what he produced in this market, he was probably going to get around $7 or $8 million a season. And we really didn't want that. This really takes that advantage out of his hands. And if he wants to stay here in Boston for that fit and play a third line role, it's going to come much cheaper. And I would be thrilled with that because of Peterka pushing him down the lineup. You didn't give up any roster players. You didn't give up any prospects for this guy. And you weren't using those picks for any of the bigger players. Jason Robertson's probably not coming here. You weren't using it for Larkin. No. So you've got to use it where you can get it.
Yeah, and like,
go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like you said, in the grand scheme of things, those 2 first round picks are going to be, 23 was, late, back half of the first round, and who knows what the pick will be in 2028. But Florida's going to be probably pretty good again now that they have Brady Tkachuk there to go with that group. So would you be willing to trade JJ Peterka for Trent Frederick and Johnny Beecher, who you've taken late in the first round in 2 of the previous, drafts? Yeah, of course you would.
And quickly before Maddie
jumps in, I think it ended up being a good deal.
Yeah.
The 23rd pick was traded for a backup goaltender in Sebastian Cossa. So that obviously tells us that Don Sweeney wasn't interested in moving Michael DiPietro as part of the deal, assuming they were not interested.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And then after the Dorofeyev trade, it kind of started to make sense. So it was a similar trade, and he got an extra third or something for Dorofeyev, but the same similar, picks.
Well, and New York ended up signing Dorofeyev to $11 million per year.
$11 million.
So I mean, You know, Zorofeyev has obviously been a better goal scorer than Peterka has been, but he's probably played with better players overall.
Right.
So, if you put Peterka with a guy like Pastrnak, you would expect him to be a 30 goal scorer and maybe a 45 assist guy.
Yeah, but then again, at 5:00 on Friday, I'm like, great. This is great. Like, awesome. Like, this is starting to see some like smarter moves and an identity. He said he wanted speed and skill. He goes out and gets speed and skill, and then the draft starts. And it's like,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I do like the acquisition just because you need a legitimate winger who can score goals. Now, after this, like Arvidsson, to me, this is Arvidsson's replacement. You can't. Arvidsson must be asking for too much money because they were probably in on it. I don't think they're going to sign him back. And is Casey Middlestat? Can he possibly be on the roster? You've got to get rid of that guy. You have to.
Yeah. To me, if you're going to re-sign Arvidsson, and they've talked about it, I guess, but if you're going to re-sign Arvidsson, Middlestat has to come off the team.
He has to.
He has to. And that's a trade I would make, honestly. Yes. Like, I would rather have Arvidsson than Middlestat.
Yes, so I would agree.
You can sign Arvidsson for $6-7 million, and Middlestat's $5.75. Like, I would do that. Term would be an issue for me. Like, I wouldn't probably go more than 3 or 4 years. I think that's the max. But I would rather have Arvidsson than Middlestat because I think he competes his ass off. And Middlestat, you had to scratch it at one point in time. So, I would rather have the guys that compete and put the puck in the net.
And then the one last point on it, again, who did when they got Victor Arvidsson? What was the connection with Victor Arvidsson?
Sturm.
So when they get Lucas Reichel, who's the connection with
Sturm?
And then when they get JJ Peterka, who's the connection with
Sturm, McAvoy. So
this is, again, it's another case of like, you scouting anybody, or you're just saying Sturm's getting. I'm going to get everybody I know. That's kind of what we're doing. Like it's another like kind of knock on the scouting. Like, are you scouting, or are you just saying, okay, Sturm, who do you like, and we'll just go get him? Like, it just doesn't seem to be a lot of effort there and getting outside the box. All right, Chirp 2, Kevyn Adams, former Buffalo GM, is presumably hired by the Bruins as an assistant GM, but Don Sweeney does not confirm. What?
This again is them just no transparency.
None.
Just no transparency.
Yeah.
Why do you have to say he's a resource for our organization? Because you're not paying him yet? Can't you just say, we're in the process of bringing him on board? Yeah. We look forward to working with Kevyn. We think he's a great
discussions with him, just like a player.
For the staff.
Sure.
But no, it's fucking double talk marketing speak. He's a great resource for our organization. Like, are you trying to fucking, play the stock market? Is it stocks and bonds? Like, what are you fucking doing, dude?
The resources. Yeah.
Is it a hockey team? Or
not
is
rocket science?
High finance. What are we doing?
It's not rocket science. No.
He talks like such a fucking douchey asshole.
He does.
All the time.
He does.
All the time.
He does.
Just talk like a fucking normal guy once in a while.
Absolutely.
And it smirks and it's like,
we got like condescending.
Yeah. Like 2 first names with the same guy. That's kind of funny. Like, stop being a fucking douchebag and talk like a normal person one time.
Hey, Ivan played games.
Yeah, we'll get to that fucking thing.
Go ahead, Connor.
So aside from the pageantry of Sweens here, I actually really like the Kevyn Adams add to the organization for a couple different reasons. One, you can say what you would like about his departure from the Buffalo Sabres, but literally nothing changed on that team aside from him being fired and everybody probably being scared they were being traded, and they decided to play well. He built that team. He did a very good job drafting and developing in that organization, whether you say it's him or his director of pro scouting. You at the top, you're fucking owning it. And he did a good job. So I think that bringing that in is a positive.
True.
And hold on,
well,
quickly, number 2.
Sorry.
Is that puts an experienced NHL general manager right behind Don Sweeney in a position where if Sweeney fucks up for whatever reason, they have another guy right there. And I think that's what it could be.
But I wonder if, again, there's subtle little moves that are made that are showing that Sweeney is on a little bit of a hot seat, warm seat. Maybe not hot.
So you think that somebody else was like, let's bring Kevyn Adams in, and the reason that Sweeney's not saying that he's part of the organization is because Sweeney doesn't really want him here? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know that that's it, to be fair, but I think that somebody got shit talked to them so much this season about drafting and developing that they had to bring somebody in from outside the organization, and this is one of them.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope that's what it is, because I think he does a good job with the Sabres. But, you know, if you listen to the Twitter sphere out there, Kevyn Adams didn't have anything to fucking do with this. We should have brought in the Buffalo Sabres head of amateur scouting, because he's the one who makes the picks.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't pick the players. I mean, I don't know how anybody thinks that.
No, he doesn't.
He only puts the roster together, and his neck is out in the line when that roster plays.
Yeah,
but he doesn't draft. He takes the index card.
Yeah.
And he fumbles the name on the microphone. And that's it.
He has a very good voice for projecting in the theaters and on TV and on Zoom calls now, because it's not an in-person draft anymore.
I'll tell you what.
Can we get back to the in-person draft?
Yes, please.
This fucking
it's stupid. And can Gary Bettman have somebody else do it? He can barely put 2 words together. Did you see that Billy Guerin thing? It was a complete fucking clown show. Like, Jesus Christ. He's got the major award, GM of the year. He's on the video. He's ready to go. And you just say, okay, next pick, Vancouver, you're up. And he walks away. Like, come on. Come on, Gary. Like, here's the thing. I hope Kevyn Adams isn't employed, because that would tell me he drafted 2 fucking goalies. I hope it wasn't him. I hope he's not an employee now. I hope he comes in like someone said on, I think Lynn said on here, like he saw the 2 goalies drafted and he booted. He said, "Fuck this thing."
I'd be willing to bet that his contract with the Sabres ends on July 1st or some shit this year, and that's why they're waiting. But do you like that more, or do you like Sweeney saying, now talking about Ivan, I'm going to call him by his first name here.
Yeah, I mean Donnie.
Always the jokes. Always the jokes with Donnie. He's just a guy who just captivates a room. As soon as he's in there, everybody's just enthralled. He really holds the room, like Paul Maurice or John Tortorella or any of these guys. He's just so charismatic.
Do you know that GIF where he's eating that piece of fruit up top, in scouting? Is that an apple or a peach?
Because that looks like an apple.
But I thought it was a peach because he ate like the ass end of it. Like who eats the bottom of the apple like that? To me, that said peach. Like, right?
I mean, who eats the bottom of a fucking peach? Who does that? Who eats the bottom of any piece of fruit first?
Who brings a peach scouting?
It like
my God.
God, did he have
the Bruins?
Did he bring like a little lunch pail with the Teddy Grahams and like a thermos and like his peach? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He's got his fucking Dunkaroos and his little cheese with the crackers and the red stick to fucking put the cheese on it. Fucking asshole. God damn it. I can't stand him when he talks.
Never enough cheese in that thing. Like there's never, I always like 2 crackers in, the cheese is gone. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
It happens same with the skin, the fun dip. Like the sugar's already, I eat the fucking stick and then there's a bunch of sugar in there.
Well, you snort the sugar like it's cocaine. You just fucking gone. Right, just one bump, boom, gone.
Boom. Just bump. One bump.
Yeah.
Connor, you have something else?
No, okay. Just eating it the long way.
We're stopping with eating I think it's a peach. I'm going to ask him.
Eating the peach the long way.
Chirp 3, John Carlson's rights acquired by Carolina. The thought is that he wants 2 times 10. If he is not signed, do the Bruins have a shot at all?
No.
Nope. I think he signs with Carolina.
Yeah, he's going to sign with Carolina.
Yeah.
Why would he not sign with Carolina?
Yeah.
There's been reports that he's going to sign in Tampa Bay from some of the
maybe. They play a style that he loves.
Yeah.
They do, I think.
Yeah.
And I think he would be a 65, 70 point guy with the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
And he'd be a great addition.
Oh my God, yeah. Absolutely.
And I think he'd be a great addition to Tampa too. He'd be a great addition to the Bruins. I would sign him 2 times 10.
I would sign him. Especially when they're trying to get better quicker. I would take 2 years of John Carlson, and I'd say, you know what? Maybe it works out. Maybe it works. I mean, he's a much better player, even at 38 or whatever he is, than a lot of players. So I would. Go ahead.
For Carolina right now, they have $11 million in cap space, right? So he would essentially take up all of that. Here's the defensemen they have signed next season: Keandre Miller, Jacob Slavin, Sean Walker, Shane Gostisbehere, Jalen Chatfield, and RFA Alexander Nikishin. Okay. So if they sign Carlson, Nikishin gone tomorrow. He's already in trade rumors.
Yeah, I heard that.
But you would think that maybe a Shane Gostisbehere might be headed out of Carolina at that point as well. It's essentially playing the same role on the team. So,
but yeah, who's Burns with?
Burns re-signed with Colorado.
With Colorado, okay. Yeah, he just signed at 41 years old. Yeah, I mean, if you trade for the rights, he's going to sign.
I feel like he will.
And if they know the number, I mean, the number's been out there for a couple of weeks at least. Yeah. So I think it happens. All right, Chirp 4. Fabian Lysell era ends in Boston or in Providence, wherever the hell it ended. For Ivan. First name Ivan, last name Ivan. And he's played 49 NHL games with Colorado. Similar player, it sounds like, skill-wise to Lysell, but a little more compete level and that type of thing. Almost sounded like a Jakub Lauko type of player.
Yeah, to me, he sounds like a Who's Nadinov.
Yeah, just kind of guy that
check
does it all, but then doesn't score. But they need some Providence Bruins, and he's going to play in the Providence Bruins for much of the season, I would assume.
Yeah, I think the reason that they got him is because he has 21 more games before he's waiver eligible. So that means he's going to Providence. He's going to play in Providence.
Like I if Ivan is a player that plays in Providence and gets called up when there's some injuries and does admirably well, then that's fine. It's much better than you getting out of Lysell because you didn't like that guy at all. And Sweeney says, Fabian took responsibility for not, reaching the potential, whatever the hell it is. And we took some responsibility. And he said something to the effect of, and should we take responsibility for some of the development? Probably.
Yeah, he was like, probably some of that should fall on us too. Probably. No, 100% is on you, asshole, because you're trying to change him into Patrice Bergeron.
It does.
You just brought in a guy in Peterka who is awful defensively.
Yes.
If you had given Fabian Lysell the same chance that you've given JJ Peterka, you might have a similar player already on your team.
Connor, let's play the audio.
I don't have that yet, but I have the direct quote that I can read you.
Okay.
He said he took ownership, meaning Lysell, of not making the NHL jump. And we took ownership of us probably should have done more in supporting him.
Yeah.
Douchebag.
Which we've been saying for 5 years. Yeah, you probably should have. And you tried to make him into something he's not. He resisted. It became this fucking, fist fight with Mujinel. And then you wasted a 21st overall pick that you kind of needed to hit.
Yeah.
Like you kind of needed to hit. And 2 picks before Wyatt Johnston. You can say all that type of stuff. But Lysell was like, some had him like top 10-ish talent in that draft. And you took him. Great. It was kind of outside of what you usually do because he wasn't a Bruin type player. He had speed and skill and defensive deficiencies, which you should know.
Yeah.
Because he's coming from Sweden and Sved should be watching those games. So you should know that. But then he came in and you were like surprised at how his defensive liability, how much of a defensive liability he was. How is he that? How are you that surprised?
Yeah. And look, coming off of the Pastrnak thing, because it wasn't that long before that they had taken Pastrnak, and a similar thing. He fell a little bit because of, some defensive things maybe. Played in the Swedish league with Nylander and you're drafting a guy in a similar spot, and people were thinking, maybe you get a similar type of talent there that falls to you and you luck out with the thing. But instead, they try to change this guy. They didn't try to change Pastrnak, but they tried to change this guy. Not sure why, and it never really worked out. And then they trade him for a guy who, when Sweeney says the first thing about Ivan's game is he's played games.
Yeah.
He's played games.
That's all he really had to say.
Fabian Lysell could have played games if you had let him, but you didn't let him.
Yeah.
So,
and he did play. No, he played a dozen, 12.
Yeah, something.
Oh, Ivan played 30 more games than fucking.
Yeah, he's played games and he's versatile. Is that what we're trying to do with first round picks? Like, you essentially traded a skilled first round pick to the Colorado Avalanche of all fucking teams, where he's going to go and light it up, I'm sure. Yeah. For a guy who's played games and is versatile. Is that what you're trying to do with the top, with the first round pick? You want a guy who plays games and is versatile? How about an impact player who plays games? Do you really need the versatility when you have 4,000 centers on your goddamn team and you're playing them all over the place at wing and this and that and the other thing? Like, sure, Ivan is a nice player. But he's not going to play for the Bruins. He's not going to play for the Bruins.
Yeah, he's not going to play much.
The Bruins have 9 guys on the roster right now. Yeah. And the Boston Bruins have a full roster right now. So he's not playing on the Bruins.
No, he's not playing on the Bruins. I mean, he's not. Maybe unless people get hurt. He's an insurance policy if people get hurt. He's a replacement for like Tufte and Blumel and those types of guys. They're not bringing back. And I'm sure he's a fine player, and I'm sure it's a good get for the Providence Bruins and all that. That's all fine. But I mean, there's really no track record to say that he's going to get in the lineup and all that stuff. I mean, that's it. So.
Lethal migraine. You seem to not understand the Boston Bruins.
Right.
If Ivan doesn't play for the Bruins, there was no reason to make the trade. He has to. No, he doesn't.
He's not going to, because they have 9 roster players on the Providence Bruins. This is them getting.
You traded a Providence Bruins player for another Providence Bruins player. That was what that trade was. It makes it seem like you didn't, because Fabian Lysell was a first round pick, and you should have got more for him than you did, but you didn't.
And I'm not saying he's never going to play. There might be a couple injuries, and he'll spot play. Absolutely.
He'll get into a handful of games, just like Riley Tufte get into a handful of games.
Right. But he's not going to play 70 games. It's just not going to happen. It's just because they literally have their whole lineup signed, and now they added Peterka. Like, they have an overload of NHL-ish players and not as many AHL players. So there you have it.
Yeah, unless they start making moves, I don't know what's happening. Yeah, he's going to spend some time in Providence. Right. Victoria, we will get to the Riley Tufte rumor. You don't need to. We'll get to it in the chirps.
Absolutely will. Chirp number 5. Pastrnak would bring in more than Tkachuk's 3 times the three first-round picks. But what if Bruins trade Pasta to San Jose for Stenberg, Verhoff, 2027 first, and San Jose has to take Elias Lindholm? This came from Duffy on X. Wanted to get your thoughts on that.
That's interesting. I mean, if you're gonna blow the thing up, like, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna blow it up, that's the way to do it. So what was the package again? They take Elias Lindholm.
They take Elias Lindholm, Stenberg, Verhoff first in a 2027 first from San Jose.
So you're essentially getting 2, 9, and a first.
And you're clearing
Elias Lindholm.
$19 million in cap.
Yeah.
If you're blowing it up, you're right.
If you're blowing it up, that's the kind of package you want in return.
Yeah,
yes.
That's a good start. I mean,
but I heard that in the Werenski trade, they were looking for 2 firsts, a top 6 or a top 6 forward, or a top 4 D, and a top 3 to 5 prospect.
Okay, so you're talking Minton, 2 firsts, and like Letourneau.
No, what he's saying is Zacha, Minton, Letourneau in 2 firsts.
Yeah, 2 firsts, a top 6 forward, top 4 D, and a prospect.
Oh, so Minton's the prospect. Okay, that's where I was confused. Okay, so yeah, Minton, Zacha, and 2 firsts for Werenski. Would you do that?
And I think Lohrei is going in that deal.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
I would. I mean, I would. Look, I know people love Minton, and if you're not, I don't think they should move ahead with Zacha. But if you can get a guy the caliber of Werenski, then I would definitely consider it. I mean, I might try to negotiate that thing a little bit.
Sure.
But certainly 2 firsts, Minton and Lohrei, or 2 firsts, Zacha and Lohrei is definitely. If it has to be all of it, then I think about it.
Would you do 2 firsts, Zacha, Lohrei, and either Higgins or Letourneau?
I would do. You know what? I would do Higgins. I would do Higgins, Lohrei. I'll be honest right now. I would keep Letourneau over Higgins.
Interesting.
I would.
Interesting. I would do the 2 firsts. I would do what did we say? Zacha, Lohrei? 2 firsts, Zacha, Lohrei.
Yes.
2 firsts, Zacha, Lohrei, and either Higgins or Letourneau. I would let them choose. But either one, which one you wanted, and I would do it.
I would do that because you get. I mean, with Werenski, you get. I mean, that's a killer pair. Like that's a killer. That's the type of D you need. You know, and I'm not sold completely on Higgins. Like I think he's better than some people say. He's a bust already. I'm not going that far.
No,
I still think he's going to be I still think I project him to be a pretty good NHL player. I just don't know how good.
Yeah.
And of course, we don't know about Letourneau, but he's got size and he progressed exponentially last year. I like his size. I like the fact that they could probably put him on the wing too, more so than Higgins. But I'm with you,
Taylor. That was for Zach Werenski in a hypothetical situation.
Yeah, that's just hypothetical. All right. Would you sacrifice other assets to do that, to dump Lindholm? Like, what would you do that? Like, let's say it's not Werenski, would you sacrifice just to get rid of Lindholm's contract?
I would do that. I would try to, and look, I'm not giving up anybody that I'm considering a core part of the team. You know, I'm not giving up a Minton. I'm not giving up Higgins. I'm not giving up Letourneau. I'm not giving up, obviously McAvoy or Pastrnak or Swayman. Like, I'm not giving up anybody that I seriously like. But if you want to take Casey Middlestat, fine.
Right. Sure.
You know what I mean? If you want to take, one of those, I'll give you one of those 2028 firsts. Like, if you want to take that and take his entire contract, go ahead. Like,
what would be the lowest thing you would take for Casey Middlestat right now? What would be the least amount of return you would take?
A 7th rounder.
So you would take any pick?
Yes.
For Middlestat.
So,
to me, why hasn't? Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Maybe nobody wants the guy. Like, maybe he doesn't. Needle for anybody.
It's a possibility. He might be that tweener guy. He was a serviceable player, but he's a 40-ish point guy, and he makes $5.75. Yeah. So, like, he's fine.
I feel like the whole league has that, though.
Right, but I think people are looking for more than fine.
Right.
So,
yes,
and they probably feel like, look, when his contract is up in a year, am I going to have to pay him more than $5?
He's at 5.7. Yeah, so he's going to be at 6 at least.
So then, there's that piece of it too. So, like, are the Bruins going to have to retain on Casey Middlestat? No, they're going to wait until he's done, and then.
But here's what I think can happen though, is at the deadline he can be a rental. He could be a legit rental where you just trade him, and you get whatever 4th round pick, 3rd, I don't care, whatever, or mid-level prospect, whatever.
I would do that in a second.
That's probably more likely because then that's a low risk for them. Like they could, if someone wanted someone who could play a little center, play a little wing, and give you a little bit of offense for the postseason run, that's probably when he can be had, I would think.
I agree, Zach Case. I think he is a Seattle type of player.
Yeah, he's absolutely a Seattle type player.
And here's just one more thing on Higgins. We were talking about him and where you think he is. I think at worst he's going to be like a 40-ish point guy, which will be disappointing. But I think he'll be an NHL player, and I think at worst he'll be like a smaller Casey Middlestat. He'll be like a 40-point guy at worst.
Right.
I think he's going to be better than that. I think he's going to be much better than that. But I think at worst that's that's what you'll get out of him.
Go ahead, Connor.
A quick aside here about the dumping Lindholm cap. If Carolina is now looking at trading Jesperi Kotkaniemi and his dog shit $4-point-something million contract, because there's still value in it considering the cap going up and what the minimum would be for a third line center being $5 to $6 million, I would have to think, if I'm Don Sweeney, I am doing whatever voodoo I can to fix Elias Lindholm's back so that in 1 to 2 more season, he's a flippable asset because he has term and can go somewhere else for a while when he has no role here. Because that contract will have value down the road.
You love yourself some Kotkaniemi. You do. You've been talking about this guy for 2 fucking years.
Yeah, and you love the value of the contracts down the road as well. I think they should put Elias Lindholm on long-term IR right now and put him in fucking traction. Put him in traction. Have Tanya Harding's boyfriend fucking whack him in the back with a crowbar.
Right.
And put him in traction at Mass General. Put him on long-term IR and use that money somewhere else.
I would trade Middlestat and put Lindholm on LTIR, and I'd have Zacha, if you kept Zacha another year, Zacha, Minton, Poitras, fucking Hustadinov as your centers. And that's what I would do. I would just, I would take that 7.75, add it to your cap, maybe go get a legitimate player. Because then you'd have about, whatever that is in cap space. You'd have that. So
I think you hold on to that cap space for once.
Yes,
yes. And you don't have to spend
it. You don't have to spend to the cap.
Nope. You don't have to spend up to the cap.
No.
You don't have to do it.
No.
Okay?
No.
Save it. Save some of that thing. For when there's a good player that comes on the market, you might have enough money to actually go get someone. It'll be unlikely that they'll come here, but you might have the opportunity to go get a really good player if you have enough cap space to do it.
Sure. All right, Trip 6, perfect world. What do you want? Werenski, Carlson, or Nurse?
In a perfect world, it's Werenski. But in a perfect world, his perfect world, he's not coming here.
He's not coming.
My second choice would be Carlson.
Yeah.
And my last choice would be Darnell Nurse. But look, I think Darnell Nurse is a good player. He just has an awful contract.
Yeah, he does.
So if Edmonton is willing to eat some of that contract, I am absolutely in on Darnell Nurse. Like if you wanna say, we'll eat, Edmonton will eat, $2.5, $3 million. Yes.
Yeah. Get that done about $7.5 million a year, then
I am 100% in. And you can have back Hampus Lindholm if you want somebody to go there and be a little bit more of a, supposedly a puck mover. Because I think Nurse does add some bite. I gave our good friend Bob somebody or other on Twitter today.
Bob Manning with 16 followers. Yeah.
But he did Manning a little education because Connor said that he played with spine, and Bob Manning said that was the worst analysis he's ever heard in his life. And so I gave him the statistics. And
he had like 174 hits, didn't he?
Not Darnell Nurse averages over his career 174 hits a season.
And that's
and 151 blocks a season. Average.
Right.
That's on average.
Yeah, that's good.
And Hampus Lindholm on average 70 hits. So basically 100 less hits and 101 blocks. So basically 50 less blocks.
Yeah, that's legit. It's a legit difference.
So when you look at the fighting majors, it's egregious.
Yeah. So Darnell Nurse will stick up for his teammates. He'll block shots. He'll hit. And he chips in offensively just about as well as Hampus Lindholm does at this point in their careers. It's about the same. They both give you about 20 to 30-ish points. So, yeah, Darnell Nurse every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Quickly, on the Werenski trade proposal with Zacha, Lohrei, and then pick your prospect, that almost comes out to a wash cap-wise because Werenski's signed to a $9.5 million contract. So if you were to somehow, in a perfect world, make that deal, you would still have your remaining cap space to go ahead and fill that hole for Pavel Zacha if you wanted to or needed to. As far as the Darnell Nurse situation, I think it's interesting. If you can fucking free yourself of anybody off of this roster, whether it be a Lohrei, whether it be one of your goaltenders, and Edmonton is retaining some of that, I think you almost have to jump at it being one of the 3 teams on the list. They're going to be willing to take some contracts back, whether you can entice them somehow to a Lohrei, Korpisalo, and then maybe they don't retain anything and you just, eat the $2.5 to $3 million there and just rid yourself of the contracts you didn't want as well. Who knows? But you also are on a list of 3 fucking teams. So you have all the leverage in the world to acquire this player.
I'm surprised I'm surprised the Bruins are on the list of 3 teams. I am. I am. But you got a shot. And if Werenski goes somewhere and Carlson goes somewhere else, then you got even more of a shot.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good comments here on Nurse, and we'll just rattle through them quick. Bruins 1970 says Nurse is durable. Hampus. Yeah, I mean, got a point. Not durable. Nurse gets a bad rap because of his contract, says Victoria. Hampus is overrated. Nurse gets Edmonton's blame, says Zach Case, which is absolutely true. And then Nurse has 2 good kneecaps. Winning, says Lynn. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's a move that Boston could make, and they would get better on the back end. I do. Whether Hampus is here, or Hampus is gone, or Lohrei is gone, I think bringing Nurse in makes you better defensively.
Sure. Chirp 7, Riley Tufte could be heading to the Minnesota Wild. There's some interest in Tufte. And hopefully that's the case. Hopefully he gets a shot somewhere. He had 32 goals last year for Providence. He's 27, turning 28. And we're hoping that the friend of the program is going to get, maybe we can get him on if he goes to Minnesota. Maybe we can get through the fucking PR.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Put him on a line with Boldy. I think he'd score. Yeah. He'd score some goals.
Yeah, absolutely. Eric Sinek.
Yeah. I love it.
I love that. All right, let's get to the comments. SideQuest Life, $4.99. Thank you for the donation. If this is their only move, I will be furious. Do you put JJ with Pasta? Yes. Also, listening to Ty Anderson on Lysell has me pissed. Total mismanagement. Yeah, I mean, to me, and we could talk about the Mujanel thing and the fact that Trent Whitfield might be the friggin' coach. Like, we celebrated the Mujanel thing. That at least look, Mujanel's probably a good coach, obviously, but he just didn't develop anybody to play in the NHL, and it just seemed to be some riffs with play. It just seemed to be a little awkward. It seemed to be that they needed a new voice there, a new vision. So we were like, great. And then Trent Whitfield, who's been an assistant for 10 years, is like, as Donnie says, up the charts and ahead of the first in line for the job. Like, come on, dude. Like, at least, come on, have an open mind and get somebody else in there.
Yeah, doesn't Sturm or McAvoy know somebody they could put in that show?
I know. I mean, do the whole thing. Like, really commit to Sturm. At least it's something outside of the Bruins' philosophy. Like, that's, again, like, they need to freaking be better at that. They need to. They need to get off. And then the comments about Peterka and like, yeah, he's skilled and he can score and he's offensive. And you know what? Yeah, there's probably some defensive liabilities, but that's okay. That's okay.
That's okay now.
That's okay now. Wow.
That's okay now.
I didn't. Wow.
Didn't realize.
I guess that's good. I guess that's good. You're getting off that high horse thing, but I couldn't believe it. That's okay. Like,
what do you got, Con?
It's okay because he's played games, Matthew.
He's played games.
He's played games and he's scored goals.
That's what it comes down to, I think.
It is. They will not
because it's not their player.
Process.
You have to get into the league first before the Bruins will trust you.
Yes.
And you have to produce. Yes. So that's the whole outscoring your mistakes thing. But it's a chicken and the egg thing. Because if you're a Bruins prospect, you can't get into the league until you play good defense. So
that's it.
You're in a catch-22 if you're part of the Bruins organization. But if you come from outside the organization,
they will live with your deficiencies.
Then you're okay.
Yeah.
The biggest one for me on that right now is the Ivan for Fabian Lysell thing. Ivan statistically is worse than Lysell in the AHL.
Sure.
But he got fourth line minutes with the Colorado Avalanche, so he played games. So what should terrify you right now is that they wanted him more than they wanted Ivan.
Yes.
So they are probably going to turn him into an NHL star, and that is going to be shoved right up Don Sweeney's ass, just like the 2015 draft. And everybody's going to fucking bitch about it.
I hope it is.
I'm so hopeful he gets a spot. It's going to be really hard to crack that lineup, but if he can get a spot and play with some pretty good players, like I think Ross Colton moved on. There's some people have moved on there. Mm-hmm. So if he gets a spot and he does, I'm really interested to see how he'll do with good players playing with speed, different style. Like I'm really looking forward to that if it happens. I really am. And I'm telling you, if he goes in and he scores, 6 goals in October, then I'll be on fire on this podcast.
I can't wait for it because it's going to happen.
Yes.
It's going to happen. I can't wait for it. I really can't.
God. Nick Rack, Eyssimont and Steve still in the starting lineup opening night. Hagen's in Providence developing like black mold. Yep. Probably going to happen. It's going to happen, dude. He's starting in Providence. Absolutely. Victoria, I feel this is going to be a good one. Angry Smitty incoming, or will it be negative Maddie? Optimistic Connor, who knows? But I'm ready.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of everything right there.
Yeah, you get a little of all of that.
You do. You get a little bit of everything. But don't you worry. Cock and Yemi. The cock is on the way. Mick Eyssimont wasn't happy about the amount he played last year. I see him getting dealt or asking out. With the goalie market being what it is, I'm hoping someone is desperate enough to take Korpi. Here's my take on Korpisalo. And I agree. I think he's one of the, just statistically, one of the bottom tier goalies in the league, obviously. But as the years go on and the cap rises, that $3 million is not prohibitive. So, do I want to see them play DiPietro and move on from Korpisalo? Yes. But I think it's like 8th or 9th thing down the list of shit that needs to be repaired, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a lesser problem. They've got more pressing problems.
Yes,
got defense, forward depth.
But I don't want him to lose DiPietro to a team and have him be a starter somewhere else.
Well, that's the rub. That's the rub.
That'll be a third starter.
Yeah,
you had.
So you're developing starters for other teams, just like you're developing Fabian Lysell for the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, you're drafting goalies now, so you can develop them for other teams.
Yeah, because you don't have 8 starting spots in the NHL. Last time I checked.
Jesus Christ, Bruins 1970, a well-rested Smitty and a full plate of topics. Oh, it's a dream here on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
Side quest life. God, I would love Werenski. No chance, but one can dream. Yeah,
that would be the dream.
He's a game changer type player.
Yeah,
for sure. Go ahead, Connor.
One thing that just dawned on me with that last conversation about Eyssimont is the Boston Bruins have a lot of depth players that continue to be upset with and speak out about their playing time. And those players are the players that are signed to contracts that are blocking the youth from playing anytime. And at the same token, stopping from the Bruins from being able to sign some of the top-fledged UFAs, especially on defense, when you have $6 to $8 million signed that sits in the press box almost every single game.
Yeah, I mean, Ty Anderson mentioned it. The Bruins have redundancies in spots, and they need to figure that thing out. They really do. Like, you can't have Yoki Haru and Lohrei both making above $3 million a year and taking turns in the press box. You can't. Like, it's just horrible roster construction. It's horrible asset management. Like, it's horrible. So you got to figure that thing out. Like, what are you going to do there? You can't have a guy making $3.5 million watching every night. Like, if it's Jonathan Aspero, that's fine. But you can't do it with a guy that you're paying good money to. Can't happen. And then the same thing with Casey Middlestat. Like, he was scratched last year. Like, what are you going to do? Is it going to be him? Is it going to be Arvidsson? Like, what are we doing there? Is it going to be Zacha? Like, what's that thing going to be? So there's a redundancy there, kind of like who's going to be that second line-ish winger? Is it going to be Higgins? Is Poitras get a sniff? Who knows? But they have some redundancies there. They have to figure that stuff out.
They do. Before
they can have like a more complete roster. And Sweeney, we've said it a million times, the roster was incomplete. Well, it's incomplete because you're doubling up in places you don't need to double up on, like third and fourth line guys, like third or fourth pair D. Like, you just don't need to keep doing that over and over again. You just don't. Or 8 goalies. You don't fucking need to do that. So there's all these places where they have like, oh, we got organizational depth now. Great. Is there a fucking single A Boston Bruins team that you can play the last 2 versions of these fucking goaltenders in? Like, it just doesn't make sense the way they're building the team and the roster. Too many third and fourth line guys, too much redundancy, too much focus on goaltending in this particular draft, and so they have to figure some of that stuff out with the roster before they can, begin to compete and have a good roster moving forward.
Do you think Kelly McCrimmon gives a rat's ass about his organizational depth through the fucking ECHL? No, I don't think he does. I think he sleeps well at night if he didn't have 8 fucking goalies. Like, I don't think that's...
Do you think he even knows what the AHL farm team for the Golden Knights is called?
He may not. He might let the GM of the AHL team take care of that shit.
Do you think he cares whether they win a fucking Calder Cup?
No, I don't think he cares about that at all.
But, you got Sweens and fucking Neely going down to watch games.
Oh, yeah.
They cheer them on, in the press box, like yucking it up.
Oh, it's
like,
this family thing. It's this organizational family thing. He said, Ryan Muginelli, he's like, I wish Ryan and his family well. And it's, okay, great. Like, this is why you don't sign Mikey Eyssimont to a 2-year deal. This is why you don't sign Steves to a 2-year deal. This is why you don't sign Yoki Haru to a 3-year deal. This is why the term matters. And I'm trying to say this.
Kuraly.
It's Sean Kuraly, 2-year deal. This is why it matters. And this is why I keep fucking banging my head on the desk. And everybody seems to fucking blow it off. Like, no. You turn over the bottom pair and your bottom, your fourth line almost year to year. I mean, teams don't go. There aren't many teams that go on a run of the same fourth line for 3 years. They just don't do that. So that's where you turn some of your roster over. And if you really want to change some philosophy, that's where it begins, down there. But you are locked up for these guys for multiple years. Having Mikey Eyssimont for 2 years in that deal, Mikey Eyssimont should be a UFA right now. There's no reason why he should be on the roster right now. Alex Steves, we're going to be saying it next year about Steves. You got him 1 more year because you went 2 years, 1.6 with him. We're going to be saying it next year. So that's why I got to find some value in this contract, damn it. Man.
Haven't found it yet.
I'm trying.
Haven't found it yet.
Found it. Surfing Bird. Wonder if the fact that Peterka is German is why the Bruins went after him, so Sturm isn't lonely. It 100% is. I mean, they signed Arvidsson, they got Lucas Reichel, and they trade for this guy, all German, all connections to Sturm. Like that's not coincidence.
No.
Like that's basically them not doing the homework to try to get other people. Is that we're going to get the guys that Sturm likes and what, and he I don't even give Sweeney credit for those things. Like Sturm is calling the shot there. Sturm and saying, go get Arvidsson because we have a good relationship. Go get Lucas Reichel because I played with his father and I coached him in Germany. Like, go get Peterka because I coached him. McAvoy coached him. Go get him. Like, so that's not Sweeney. It's not a coincidence. Sweeney's like, Jesus, we might get JG Peterka. Do you know him? No, he already knows the Sturm knows him. That's another example of like, is what are we doing? And
does Ryan Nadeau actually do anything?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. They don't have a forward to speak of in the last 11 years that they drafted. Not one. So I don't know. They have McAvoy and Swayman is kind of what they're hanging their hat on. And Swayman was a 4th-round pick. Like, the league had a chance at him 4 fucking times. So I don't know. I don't know. Severed Soul. This draft is going to turn into 2021 Poddur. I have a feeling. I have a feeling too. I really do. I think 3 years from now, guys, when they're coming up for ELC, aren't going to be. Here's the other problem I have, and this speaks to Connor's point about signing guys when they're up, when their ELC is ready to go. You got 2 goalies coming up 3 years from now, or whatever, and you've got Swayman for 6 years. So they know they're not going to be the number one. They're not. So you run the risk of them not signing with you. So that's the other risk of it all, is that do they have a chance to play for the Boston Bruins? And if they don't, maybe they don't sign. And that's a risk you have if you have overload in your goalie position. Go ahead, Connor.
And if you are so confident in your goaltending department, you should draft no goalies and invite goalies to your camp to sign with your team, because they know that you develop them well and they'll have a damn good chance.
But that's what
get them for free.
That's what they did with Max
Lundgren. That's what they just did. Yeah. So yes, I agree. Like, you are goaltender. Like, you do the goaltenders well. And there are goaltenders now sprayed about the league all of a sudden that you do well. So you're taking guys who aren't drafted and making them legitimate NHL goaltenders. Good on you. But you can do that with undrafted guys, what you have been doing. All of a sudden, you're using draft picks on goalies? Why? The only one I can remember is Reed Dick, and he's stunk, but he was a 6th-round pick.
Yeah.
He's not going to play in the NHL. But the 2nd round? When you do that well, I don't get it. Pejman, they attacked the only position that showed up in the playoffs and where they spend $11 million plus. Yeah, makes it.
Make a ton of sense.
Also, Pejman, that second goalie will be Lohrei in the crease. Lohrei has been a D-man for like 5 years, and it shows. Yeah. My hate for management increases every time they do or don't do something. They cannot do a fucking thing right. Yeah, I mean, that's valid.
I mean,
that is valid.
I feel your pain, Pejman. I do.
Paying Jeannot, Kuraly, Eyssimont, Steves a combined $9 million a year, yet you never gave Lysell a sniff. Fuck these clowns. Yeah.
Yep.
Victoria, the fact that Peterka owned up for not being as good last year, and him saying, "I know I can be better," sets a good bar with me. Yeah, I mean, that's good speak. I
agree with that.
I think he's the type, seems to be the type that environment matters. Like, he talked about it. He's going to be comfortable with Sturm, German coach.
McAvoy too.
I'd be comfortable playing with Pastrnak too. So that's helpful.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe he comes in and he really starts to realize his potential, and it's a really good move. Look, Geekie's been a good move. I mean,
yes.
He has been. He's still expendable, but he's been a really good move. I mean, that was a really good move, and it's $5.5 million.
Great contract.
So that's good on Sweeney there for sure.
Absolutely.
Props. And if Peterka's the same type of thing, all the props to that too.
Yeah.
But if this shows you that this is work, then this is your thing now. This is your thing. Go get a 24-year-old who has potential, higher pick, can score some goals. Get him. Like, you did it with Geekie, you did it with Peterka. Keep doing it because you can't draft.
Right.
So keep doing it.
Yeah, I mean, there's other teams that do it this way. Vegas does it this way. They never keep their draft picks. So, like, if this is what you're good at, then continue to do this.
Own it.
You don't take your first round picks. Trade them.
Right.
Trade Fabian Lysell before his value plummets and you end up with Ivan.
Sure.
And maybe you can trade him, for an impact player that's already played games in the NHL.
Yeah.
That and maybe he's versatile too. So you kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
Congratulations. But if that's what you're good at, if you have college and amateur scouts that absolutely suck, which it appears that the Bruins do, then you should use your NHL scouts and have make the moves for NHL guys that can come in and be impact players.
Yeah, I mean, go get Mikheyev from the Blackhawks, or go get Beniers, or go get guys like that instead of making that pick, because the likelihood of your pick being even that guy is not great. So
yeah, I mean, you did it with who's Nadinov to a certain degree, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you went out, you brought him in. He's been a pretty good guy for you. Yeah. You did it with Minton, same thing, pretty good guy for you. Mm-hmm. So that seems to be something that you can do pretty well. Mm-hmm. That's maybe the avenue they should be following.
Sure, Connor, right?
Yeah, Connor.
They are showing that they can buy low and turn those assets into some good value, but they're also showing that they can sell semi high and turn those assets over, like they did it with the Brandon Carlo. I'm looking at them to do it now with Pavel Zacha.
They should.
And one of the key trades that I look at in the Carolina Hurricane system, because I'm a closet fan, everybody knows, is the Rantanen deal. When that didn't work out, they shipped Rantanen to Dallas for Stankoven, who just had 16 points in 19 playoff games for them, 2 firsts and 2 thirds that they then parlayed into other assets. That's the exact type of moves you should do, as Don Sweeney. Like, you got Minton out of that. Great. Now can you parlay that Leafs 2028 pick into another significant asset on the roster?
Right.
Like, then you're cooking with gas.
Then you're trading Carlo
all of your mistakes.
Yes. Then you're trading Carlo for 2 legitimate core players going forward. That's how you turn the fucking core over. That's how
or you turn that 2028 pick and some other thing into an impact player that's already playing NHL games.
Right.
You don't have to draft somebody with that pick. You can turn that pick around, trade it, include another asset, and maybe you get someone good in return that's already proven themselves in the league.
Well, that's part of the Marchand deal now, is you have Peterka. So at least you have someone for the next core for several years, 24 years old. So that makes the Marchand, deal look even better than it was.
Sure.
So, Jerry Jingle, Utah used the Bees 2026 pick for a not great backup goalie when they could have taken Corpi or DiPietro. A first in Corpi would have been a steal, but 2 firsts and dump Corpi still helps. Yeah. I think Connor's right. I don't think they wanted to get rid of DiPietro. That was probably the deal they wanted. Mm-hmm. They couldn't, so they pivoted to Kosa. Mm-hmm. Jerry Jingle, Globe interviewed Nato, and all the guys he mentioned were in some Swedish amateur tournament. It was like that NFL owner who made draft picks based from the Senior Bowl game. That's a great analogy. It's a great analogy. Go to the Senior Bowl game, say, I like that dude, and you draft him 3 months later. Yeah, mm-hmm. I think that's a great analogy. You're right. Surfing Bird, I'll laugh if Lysell does well in Colorado and turns into a great NHL winger. I'll fucking lose my mind. And I'll go back to all those people, like the Haggertys of the world. And all these people said, well, Lysell just never did it. He just never showed it. He just never did it.
Yeah, he was immature. He was immature. He wasn't listening to Lou Janelle and all these things. And he's going to go to Colorado and play well and probably produce. And you know what those guys will say, right? Even if he's not on the same line with them. Oh, he's playing with Makar. He's playing with McKinnon.
Oh, yeah.
Like Makar and McKinnon. You're right. We could have been playing with Pastrnak.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers. He could have.
Can the NHL hire folks who can pronounce Russian, Swedish, and Canadian names for the draft? Says Jerry Jingle. Yeah, I hope so. Bruins 1970, Colorado would give him a better look than Boston.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Gordov, Sweeney is into safe players. He's so into safe that he wears 3 condoms when he goes to bed at night. Yeah, he does. He does. Fact. They won't blow it up until Pasta asks for a trade. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
what it has to.
True.
That's what it has
probably
to come
true
down
that
to.
case.
Yeah, that's what it has to come down to is finally Pastrnak pulling a Marsha and being like, I want to go here. And that's it. Kind of great.
Before we move on from comments, do you guys want to touch on any of the Mujinel moving on to Vancouver, Langenbrunner getting hired in Nashville, Evan Gold still sticking around after trying to get hired by anybody and their mama?
Sure.
Well,
go ahead. You go.
Evan Gold is the Providence GM, correct? Is that essentially what he is?
That is correct.
GM and Providence Bruins GM, yes.
So if Kevyn Adams comes in here, he goes a step above, right? Was Langenbrunner what Adams is going to be?
Yes.
Okay.
What is that, director of player development or something?
I think that
assistant GM.
Assistant GM. It was that, but I think they retitled things when McQuaid moved into that player development role or whatever it was. Yeah, I mean, the Evan Gold thing, as Smitty said, the guy's been looking around the league for like 3 years now, trying to jump at any opportunity that comes about. So he's kind of 1 eye, 1 foot out the door. I would push that thing along if I was the Bruins. I mean, I wouldn't have an employee that's kind of interviewing and resume building and talking, networking to try to get out. If I really thought he was that desperate to get out, I would start moving that process along. That's it. As far as Mujinel, I think it's great that they're going to do it, but now they piggyback it with Trent Whitfield. If they do that, I don't think much changes. I mean, he's part of the coaching staff that didn't develop players. So is that 100% his fault? No, because you can be an assistant and have some different philosophies and have a better handle on young players. There's still that opportunity. So I'm not saying it's just they're Siamese twins over the thing, but it's still sort of the same thing, same message, same thing, which I don't love. I don't. And then Langenbrunner, obviously there was something up there where he essentially went to Nashville for kind of a downgradish type of thing. Like it was just kind of a lateral move type thing. Something happened there. I don't know if it was Mason or whatever, but something just didn't fit right, or Sweeney figured he was kind of the fall guy for the development stuff or whatever it was. But something happened there. So, and I don't mind him going either. I want some new face, new views, new faces.
Yeah, I'm all for new. I'm all for new. I don't really care about Gold or Langenbrunner all that much.
No,
I agree with Matty. I think if he's got 1 foot out the door, then push his ass out the door. Like,
yeah.
If you really want to go somewhere else, go somewhere else. Like, no one's stopping you here. We'll bring in Kevyn Adams to take your job, and you can do something else.
Yeah,
knock yourself out, buddy. Yeah. Go network. Langenbrunner, whatever, it's fine. Mujinel, look, I think he's a good coach. I think he's a good AHL coach, but I think he's trying to win AHL games because he wants a shot in the NHL somewhere.
I think so too.
And that's what he got in Vancouver. So good for him. Mm-hmm. But he wasn't trying to develop guys. He was trying to win games, which, isn't really what you want from the AHL guy. If he's a good team employee, you want guys who are, you want a coach who's going to develop guys for the Boston Bruins. So, and I also feel like he's a little bit Bruce Cassidy-ish. Like he's got a personality that kind of rubs guys the wrong way. Like he and Fabian Lysell had a problem from the very beginning. Like this is your first round pick. Your AHL coach should not be a complete asshole to the kid.
No.
Even if he's not the most mature kid, even if he doesn't play the greatest defense, like he could still coach him and try to develop him for the Bruins and not be a complete dickhead. So I feel like it's a good thing that he's out of the picture now. And whether Trent Whitfield has a different philosophy or not, who knows? I agree with Matt. Like he probably does have some different feelings on how things should be done. Can he develop guys for the Bruins? We'll see if he ends up getting the job. But I think he should look outside the I think they should look outside the organization. They'll probably look, but he'll probably still get the job. Because that's the way the Bruins do things. They're a incestuous bunch. Like everything's Bruins related. Kevyn Adams was a fucking Bruins draft pick. Like
he didn't sign with them.
It all comes back to Bruins guys.
Yeah.
You know, were they once a Bruins guy? Were they in the Bruins alumni? Like, that's how it works there. Like, they're familiar with you, so you're in. And it seems to be the way that the team picks players too. Are they familiar to anyone on the coaching staff? Are they familiar to anyone in the general manager? Are they a relative of anybody on the coaching staff or a general manager? So that's why they took fucking Langenbrunner's kid. You know, that's why that shit happens. That's probably why they picked Matt Grizzle back in the day, because his dad was a member of the Bull Gang. It's just shit like that they do. So I would like to see somebody outside of the organization get that job, but it probably won't happen. It's going to be Whitfield.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's kind of how I feel about it. I would like a breath of fresh air through the whole damn thing. And I've been saying that.
Yeah, me too.
I've been saying that for years. Like, I would like to clean house, top down, like owner down. I'd be fine with that. If you want to knock all those people out and bring in some people who actually want to win. Like, if you want to knock everybody out of here and give me, you know, the Utah owner and the, you know, Buffalo general manager or the Vegas general manager, sure, sign me up. Like, I'd be all in for that stuff, because I would rather have, you know, an owner and a management team that are committed to winning. And I don't think this organization is.
Connor, go ahead.
My follow-up for you guys on that was, there's some folks in the Boston Bruins media who have kind of tipped the cap that Mougenel in Providence was playing more to win, and that might have been more of an issue in the player development, where a lot of veterans were playing in roles where their prospects should have been. So yeah, pitch it over to you. Your thoughts on that now finally coming out in the Boston Bruins media.
We've been saying that.
Really? That's what they've been doing all along?
Fucking years. We've been saying that. Like, sometimes it's a fucking, it looks like a beach ball coming at you, and you just don't want to admit it. Like, we've been saying that for 2 years, but now it's coming to light. Like, a lot of the things that you think are happening are actually happening.
Yeah.
Like, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a fucking duck. Like, but you can dismiss it all you want, and you can make excuses, and you can say, oh, it's not that. It's not that. You're an idiot. You're a clown. You're an idiot. And then lo and behold, a year later, you're saying the same shit we've been saying. Then screw you. Like, you're just an ass kisser, tongue in the fucking rectum for Don Sweeney. It's just, I mean, enough.
Yeah.
Like, so again, another example. I wish I kept track of the examples. Here's another example of what we've been saying, because it looked like it, and it was it, that he was trying to win games.
You're just a couple of podcasters.
That's
maybe
it.
so.
You
maybe so.
Hockey.
Maybe so. But we're right. We're right. And we're usually ahead of the curve on shit like that. We're usually ahead of the curve. If you want to listen to a show that's ahead of the curve, yeah, here it is.
I mean, look, we're not afraid to say it, because we have really nothing to lose. I mean, they're not going to invite us to the fucking luncheon, and that's fine. But we're going to say what we think is happening. And a lot of the times it's simple, and it looks like it, and it is it. And this is it's a perfect example. He was trying to win to create his resume. Someone said it in the comments. He was trying to build a resume, get the championship, so they could go and get an NHL job. Good on him. Fine. I mean, that's a stepping stone thing. Great. It's not good for the organization. It's not. So see you later. Hopefully Trent Whitfield. That would be my first question for Trent, would be, what does your career path look like? What are you trying to accomplish? Do you want to be an NHL coach someday? Then that has to be considered for what you're trying to do. Are you going to make this about yourself, or are you going to make this about player development for the Boston Bruins?
Well, yes. So if I'm the Bruins, this is what I'm saying to him. Look, we would love, and I'm sure if he answered that, he would say, yes, I want to be an NHL coach. Who wouldn't? If you're coaching the AHL level, you would much rather coach at the NHL level.
Yes.
Obviously. Yes. That's going to be his answer. But I would say to him, look, we want you to succeed at the AHL level. That reflects well on the guys that we've drafted, that reflects well on you, that reflects well on the organization. If we can win in the Calder Cup playoffs, like all that stuff reflects well on the entire organization and you, because you're the coach. But this is how we want you to accomplish those goals. We're going to draft guys, and you're going to motherfucking play them.
Yes. We've been saying this.
If you want to supplement the roster with your Patrick Browns of the world, and your Trent Whitfields of the world, and your Tommy Crosses of the world, if you want to do that, knock yourself out. Okay? But the guys we draft are going to get the majority of the ice time. And if you have a problem with that, you can go coach somewhere else.
100%. And we've been saying that when it was the Patrick Brown show on the top line every night at 34 years old, that guy's not a part of the future. And Matt Poitras not playing first line minutes. And Merkulov in the beginning wasn't playing first line minutes. Lysell, they're down the third line, fourth line, playing with Joey Abate and all these other guys. That's asinine. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Are we developing Patrick Brown or are we developing Matt Poitras? Like, that should be every night. And also, chemistry-wise, Poitras and Lysell should have been playing. They should have played 200 games together. Like, they should have played every single night together, center, right wing, every single night. But they didn't. And we kept saying it. And I was like, no, it's Patrick Brown is there for leadership. And that's not what this is about. Like, you got to play those guys got to earn that. No, you're trying to development. Obviously, they haven't earned anything. They haven't started yet. How would they earn anything? Right out of the gate? So you're going to
minors for crying out loud. That's where they're supposed to learn.
That's where they're supposed to learn. Is in the minors.
So let them go there. Let them make mistakes. And maybe year one of that you won't have the best record as a coach.
Yeah,
maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe by year 2 or year 3, those guys click. They're developing, and your team is all of a sudden pretty good.
Right. And then, you know what? If you develop 5 or 6 guys to play on a legitimate NHL hockey team, that's a good benefit. That's good on you. That
looks good on a resume.
You could say that in the interview. Say, we had some, but we were playing young guys. We were trying to develop them, and we developed them. And now the NHL team is much better because of these 5 or 6 guys that are on the roster. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. And that would have been just as good too. So, to me, if that's what this talk is right now, I don't know what to tell you. Like, the more things happen, the more I think that they're completely moronic. I just don't understand.
I think the way Sweeney talks to the media, and in essence, us, the fans, the people that listen to him, I think he talks to the coaches the same way. And they come out of a meeting and they're like, what did he fucking say? What am I supposed to be doing right now? Am I supposed to be winning games, or am I supposed to be developing guys? Am I supposed to be, is someone supposed to be playing games? Like, what is happening right now? Why do we have 8 goalies? Who am I supposed to play a goalie? Like, what? I think they leave a meeting and their head is fucking spinning from all the douchey double talk that he spits out from fucking time to time.
How much after that Lucas Reichel meeting? How much alcohol was consumed at the fucking Sully's tap after that? How much? Like, Jesus Christ. We just sat for an hour and a half to decide if we're going to trade a 6th round pick for Lucas Reichel. I mean, can you just email me and let me know? Like, you don't even have to, like, put me at BCC. I don't give a shit. Like, just email me. Like, that's unbelievable to me. He talks like that. Look, I said it last week when Connor was here. If he talks that well that way, he always does. You can't turn that thing off. Like, that's how you talk. That's how your personality is. You can't turn that off and on. So he talks that way in everything he does. Well, I think it was a Connor he's talking about maple syrup, going to the grocery store. Well, they had maple syrup, but we looked at our resources.
No, it was the carrots, baby.
Oh, the carrots. Yeah, the carrots. We're talking about carrots. And, the carrots, what great. We looked at all of our resources, and the carrots were a little bit out of season. And, it was just to speak. And I think he does it in everything he does. You can't possibly turn that back on and off. So that's what you get. Connor, is this Connor's corner, or do you have something else?
No, I don't really have anything, but if this is the time, I mean, this is where Smitty could give us the rundown of his little vacation here and why I filled in last week.
It was a good time. A good vacation. I drank way too much. I think I gained like 12 12 pounds.
Yeah, there you go.
From fucking booze and food on the old cruise ship.
That's all right.
I saw. I'll run down the wildlife I saw. I saw a bald eagle about 12 to 15 feet right out in front of my face. Pretty awesome. I saw a family of bears cross the street in front of me as I was trying to get an Uber back from the Mendenhall Glacier Visitors Center. So that was really cool. I saw a whale. I saw a sea lion. I saw a bunch of salmon doing the old jumps in the rivers and streams.
Nice.
What else do we see? No, I didn't see a moose. I think we saw a seal as well. So sea lions and seals. Yeah, so a lot of wildlife.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good trip. It was fun. Nice. With the exception of yesterday getting back here. My flight was delayed 2.5 hours leaving Seattle. So we were supposed to leave at 1:40. We didn't leave until about 4:15 and got back to Boston at 12:45, I think. By the time we got our luggage and got home, it was 2:45. So
nice. Victoria says, did you pet the bears? We know you like to try and pet chickens.
I did not. I did not try to pet the bears. So it was a mama bear and 3 cubs. And when they were crossing the road, we were very close. And the mama bear literally turned toward us for a second. And so there was like a park ranger that put his arm up and was like waving at us, like back up, back up, back up. So yeah, we gave the bears some space.
Yeah, she gave her the what for?
She did. She was like, "Get away from my children. Get away from my cubs right now." Yeah,
right now, like right now. All right, beauty this week. You know what? The beauty this week is the San Jose Sharks.
Love
Smitty's new favorite team.
They're going to be loving you from dawn until dusk.
Yeah, I mean that draft was a clinic in Stenberg and Verhoff.
Ryan Lynn. They got Ryan
Lynn. Then, that trifecta. Fuck. Yeah.
That alone in the first round, pretty awesome.
Oh
Mike doing a great job over there. Yeah. And they're going to be formidable. If they can pull off like a Werenski thing, or they can get into one of those, top-notch defensemen, they're going to be a problem for a long time.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, they are going to be a problem, and they have a ton of cap space. Like, it's just like, they're in such a great spot, and
they are.
Mike Greer is such a better GM than his father ever was.
Yeah.
Like that's, I mean, this is like, he just does an amazing job. That's how to build, obviously draft helped.
Obviously.
And he's hit on some of that. And he also cut bait on Eklund, who was a high draft pick.
Yeah.
Cut bait on him early because there's an overload there. And then we'll move on from him, and we'll get, Verhoff is going to be a pretty, a good defenseman for them. And of course, Stenberg is probably going to be a better prospect than Eklund. So that's how you do it.
It is how you do it.
All right,
Bender. We're going to go. We have to. It's too easy. It's too obvious. The Bender is Sweens.
Have a Bender.
Sweens. Yeah. Look, you can't do a goalie in the second round there. You just can't. And we want to do draft grades real quick.
Sure.
Let's do a Bruins draft grade right now for this draft. F.
Right.
There you go. Done.
F. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at it and it's an F. Like, two goalies. The only thing that might be able to salvage it is if like Kotkov or Barthelton, one of those two guys ends up being decent. But other than that, and I agree with whoever put it in the comments. I forgot who it was. I'm sorry, but it's like 2021. It's like that whole draft is gone.
Yeah. Look, there's some intriguing picks, and I'm sure, somebody will crush me with this down the line when those guys pan out. And I hope they do. I hope they do.
I hope we're wrong. Yeah.
Still drafting 2 goalies makes it those are inexcusable decisions. Mm-hmm. Like, you could have and people will say, oh, what you can't, it's when you think after the fact, I'm totally lost my train of thought.
When you think
you can't second guess it.
Yeah. Right.
But those are inexcusable decisions. Like those, there's guys there that you could have taken that would have helped you sooner rather than later.
Right.
Whether or not, those goalies pan out or not. Like we said, you have Swayman, you have a bunch of other guys in the system already. And as Maddie said, and Connor said, you can draft and develop goalies. So you can get college free agents that would be willing to come here because you've had success with goalies. You don't need to reach for a guy in the second round or draft another guy in the sixth round. It just doesn't make any sense. They totally flubbed that thing. And whether or not those guys pan out in the middle rounds, it doesn't matter. You still fucked up the second round thing. Like it's the same with the 15 draft. Like you still fucked up the first round. No matter how it worked out after that, you fucked up the first round badly. So, that's always going to come back to bite you. Whether you have success later or not, doesn't really matter. You missed the thing early on. You fucked it up. What do you got, Connor?
And the other thing on this is you have players that they were obviously willing to trade, and they moved none of them in a really hot market. So not only did they flub the draft, but they really screwed themselves on not being able to move some of the pieces they should have and were willing to move on from in a pretty good trade market.
I think shortly after July 1, they are going to make a trade or two, I think. I really think they are within the next week and a half. There's usually a little bit of activity after the free agent, like right in that window there. I think they're going to make a trade or two. So I'm not going to kill them yet for not moving people because I still think that's possible. If they don't, then that's ridiculous. And I think Arvidsson's going to sign with someone else July 1. I think that's going to be one of the first things that happens. If they bring back Peeke, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to absolutely lose my mind. So Peeke and Arvidsson can go far away as far as I'm concerned. You got a better.
If they bring back Peeke, but they get rid of a Lohrei and a Jookie Haru, who's not factoring in, they bring back Peeke for less.
My hockey team. I don't want Andrew
whatever.
Peeke. I don't want Peeke on it. I don't want Jookie Haru on it either. I don't want Lohrei. I mean, look it. If I had to pick one out of the three, it would probably be Lohrei just because of his youth. I don't know what Jookie Haru does still. I know he plays great in international play, but I don't know what he does. But I want to trade those three guys right now. And I want to look at none of them play well in your system. That's number one. And if you want to change the kind of makeup of your defense, then those three guys have to be gone. If you need quicker, better skating, puck moving, a little bit of physicality, that type of stuff, all three need to be gone. So hopefully that happens. Jookie Haru will be here. Lohrei might not. And Peeke, I'm going to lean toward no, but stranger things have happened.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they were going to run it back. The Peterka trade was good from my perspective. I still think that you're going to have essentially the same team. So I think they want to bring it back. It seems. I don't know. I mean, he was cagey about Lysell and whether or not they qualified him. He's not cagey about Peeke. He's saying they want to re-sign the guy. So that makes me think they're going to try to re-sign the guy.
He's a new forward.
I mean, which is ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
Like he does not offer you value penalty killing. He does not offer you value in
penalty killing is one of the worst in the league.
He doesn't give you value offensively. He doesn't do much defensively. Like he doesn't give you much value. But we're going to re-sign the guy. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
How are Kuraly and Peeke valuable penalty killers when your penalty killing is like 26th in the league? Like, how are they valuable? Your penalty kill stunk. I don't understand it. Doesn't make any sense. All right, we're on a bender.
There we go.
We're on a bender. Okay. Number one, if you were drafted into the NHL on Friday, Other than the Bruins, what team would you want to have picked you in that draft?
San Jose Sharks. Easy.
So you can play with Celebrini?
Easy peasy.
Yeah, there you go.
Give me Macklin Celebrini.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Best thing about Seattle?
The Pike's Place market was pretty cool. We did a walking tour that was like a food tour through Pike's Place, so we got to go to like 9 or 10 different places, and it was with a chef, but there only ended up being 4 of us on the tour. There's usually like 15 or 20, but it was during the U.S. World Cup game. We didn't know. We booked it before.
But that's perfect.
So it was just us, and it was amazing. We stopped at like 10 or 11 different spots, tried all this stuff that I would have probably never eaten before. And it was fantastic. Like, it was great. And it's a really cool area, and it was hot as fuck that day. I mean, I know Seattle's usually rainy and whatever, but it was like 80 and just gorgeous. We had beers. We stopped at a place to get fucking booze slushes while we were walking around on the tour. Like, it was a good time. I really liked that, the Pike's Place market.
Nice. Connor Red.
And Jason Robertson still said, fuck that place for 15
fuck that place.
He did.
He did.
Place. Yeah.
Well, Victoria lived in Tacoma for a while. She said absolutely nothing. It's good. Coolest thing about Alaska?
I would say the scenery is pretty amazing. It really is. Like, there was one point we went into this place called Glacier Bay, where the ship goes in. There's little tiny glacier, like icebergs all around you and stuff. Lots of wildlife there. Just the scenery is spectacular. Like, you have to see it to believe it. It looks almost fake at times. It's very weird to see in person. But it's really cool. And the glaciers were amazing. I would say the scenery.
Best amenity on a cruise?
Well, if you get the drink package, it's the drinks.
That's the drinks. Definitely.
Yeah, it's the drinks. And I highly recommend the drink package, because it comes with, not only do you get, like, I think it's up to 15 drinks a day. You can get some of the higher end liquors, because that's included, up to like $16 a drink or whatever. And if you go high end, you only have to pay the difference. So we had some high end booze, and you paid like $3 a shot or $3 for a glass of high end bourbon or something that you would normally have to pay $20-$25 for. So drink package is the way to go. Yeah,
absolutely. Best streaming service?
Wow. I would say HBO Max.
I do too. I love HBO Max. Yeah. I do. Some good shows.
If it was not cutting time, I'm going with that. They have so many good shows.
If you were playing baseball, your walk-up music?
I'm trying to think of
Drops of Jupiter.
Jupiter. Wow, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I don't know. Jesus, I'd probably go something. Maybe what is it? I mean, I don't want to steal like something that's already been done. So like, I like Audio Slave. I like Alice in Chains. Like, I'd probably pick something heavy.
Something like that?
Yeah,
heavy grungy.
Yeah, heavy grungy, probably something like that. But like Cochise, like, I think the Bruins use that for theirs. By Audio Slave. So I don't know. I'd probably pick something like that, I guess.
Okay. Let's see. Last time you lifted a weight?
Does heavy suitcases count? It was a shade under 50 pounds.
Wow, that boy. Nailed it.
A few times. So yeah, no, I don't know the last time I lifted a weight.
Long time. Favorite soup?
Cream, broccoli cheddar.
Broccoli cheddar, yes.
Yeah.
An odd item in your glove compartment?
My mom got me one of those tools that if your car like submerges in water, you can like
crack the window.
You can crack the window with
corner there. Boom.
It's one of those, like, it's like a metal, like, I don't know. It's a weird metal thing.
Yeah, you put it like in the corner and it just like shatters it. Real quick. Yeah. That's awesome.
I have that in my glove box. That's awesome. Not much in there. That, I think a pair of sunglasses, some lifesavers, and the owner's manual and my registration. That's all you get.
There you go. And finally, if you had so tomorrow's your birthday. Happy birthday, Smitty.
Appreciate you.
Who would you want a birthday cameo from?
On this show?
Yeah.
On this show. I gotta go with somebody that's gonna pull in viewers to plop this thing into the stratosphere.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going, I mean, as much as it pains me as a New England guy, I think I'm going like Jason Kelce, Travis Kelce.
Are you?
Fucking Taylor Swift, like Jason Kelce's wife. Okay. One of those people is that's gonna pop the views for this thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going anybody hockey related because no one gives a fuck about hockey. We've been doing this thing a long time, and not many people care about it. So I wouldn't pick a hockey person. I'd pick somebody. I'd pick somebody like that. That would.
I think I'd go Nate Bargatze if he did it, or something like one of those comedians.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Jason Bateman. I like those guys from
yes.
Smartless, like Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, Sean Hayes. Like I wouldn't mind having those guys on. Sure.
Sorry, Gordoff. I mean, we're just spitballing here at the end of the episode. Sorry, it was offensive. All right. Very good. All right. So hey, that's it. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll be back at it Wednesday night. Wednesday night is actually July 1. It's actually free agent. So we'll figure out what time that'll be, but it's the day of free agency. So we appreciate everybody listening and watching today. And as always, go Bruins.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.